Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. Just wanted to say a quick hello. We had a lot of rain here, and some people have emailed me to ask me if I was safe because there was a lot of extensive flooding in eastern Kentucky. While I live in eastern Kentucky, that type of flooding didn't affect us here, but we did have massive amounts of rain. In one day, we received 2.5 inches of rain, and you can see this is the stream creek behind my house that I was walking in last week. And this is the way it usually is, actually. It's usually rambling like this, and it's quite pretty. But I would like to read a letter or some information that I received today. This individual wrote in response to something I posted online about being on a watch list and stalked, etc. He sent me his website, and he also sent me a flyer that he wrote, which I really feel is exceptional. And it touches on some subjects that other people have not elucidated as much as he has. And I would like to read it to you because this is happening to millions of people in the United States and across the world. A lot of times people don't understand what the symptoms are, the signs that they are being surveilled and then placed on a watch list. It's usually done by a person in the know. It could be an envious, jealous person, somebody you pissed off, disagreed with, who had connections in all the right places with law enforcement, a judge. And very often they're involved in cults, C-U-L-T-S, a cult. Some sort of cult. And these cults have much hatred for people and will vandalize the property, sometimes even for free. But I'd like to sit down here. You can hear this beautiful stream trickling in the background, flowing in the background, and I'm going to read what he wrote. He did not provide a name, just a screen name, and I'm not going to mention it. I don't have his permission yet. He did feel comfortable in sharing this. So the title is called Organized Persecution, Fighting Gang Stalking, Expose Illegal Stalking by Corrupt Law Enforcement Personnel. Organized persecution, also known as gang stalking, bullying, or mobbing, is a sustained, organized attack upon an individual or couple, the target. A variety of methods are utilized to intimidate, isolate, harass, and provoke the target into an incriminating act that will be recorded and used against them. The goal is to discredit, demoralize, and utterly devastate all quality of life. This is happening in your neighborhood now, and wherever a targeted individual happens to live. A smear campaign is a primary technique used to blacken a target's reputation and ultimately ruin their life. I'm going to add something to this. And the smear campaign is the primary tool of the narcissist. Okay? So this smear campaign is a proven effective method to spread vile accusations within the community via the spoken word. The purpose is to turn neighbors in the community against this horrible person, disgrace them, destabilize them, and ultimately destroy them. Typical accusations are bigot, racist, agitator, abusive, drug dealer, thief, terrorist, pedophile, sexual predator, stalker, prostitute, subversive. In other words, an undesirable of some sort. This is an effective means of recruitment because people love gossip, and the sleazier the better. This alone will often convince neighbors they are performing their civic duty by helping to bring down a creep labeled with any of the above. Persuading people to follow and harass someone is done by offering the carrot or the stick along with the usual malicious gossip that is the currency of these evildoers. There is something seriously wrong with all of these people because well-adjusted individuals do not derive pleasure from hurting their fellow citizens this way. Those at the top directing the campaign are insulated by multiple layers of dimwit lower-level operatives and unlikely to ever be held accountable. These scheming individuals are masters of manipulation who prey upon the lower impulses, fear, and personal prejudice of citizens to get them to carry out the underhanded dirty work. Anyone the target comes in contact with receives a warning about the target. The warning usually includes disinformation, manufactured altered evidence, and the target is, quote, under investigation, unquote. Well, I guess I've been under investigation for at least 10 years, folks. I wonder what they're investigating. My farming skills? My love of animals? Or the fact that I will expose every one of these little weenies until the day I die. This favored tactic is designed to make all interactions uncomfortable and to poison the entire neighborhood against the target. Finding and keeping a job in this environment is undermined. It continues for years because there is no shortage of misguided groundlings willing to do nearly anything for money and other favors. However, getting involved means dipping your toe into a foul, dark pool of energy. The tactics. These are some of the tactics they use. Entrapment, home invasion, wiretaps, computer hacking, bugging, spoofing mail, email, placing a GPS on cars, blacklisting, crowding, mobbing the target, workplace undermining, framing, honey traps, 24/7 surveillance, slander, mail tampering, verbal assaults, gaslighting, poisoning pets, vandalism, etc. Parents will even use their children. Nothing is sacred or off limits. And yes, I can attest to parents in Manalapan, New Jersey using their children, their 2 daughters, and then a local neighbor here using her sons to infiltrate my Facebook page and stick their finger up at me when they're driving. Street-level perps are taught how to operate just below the threshold of what can be reported without sounding paranoid. They are fed biased information and pressured into adopting hostile feelings towards the target. Those involved are obedient, sadistic, godless, and draw courage from the group. So this is groupthink. This is the sheeple people. They literally gang up on the victim. And he goes on to say that he has been conspicuously followed everywhere he goes and often confronted. This is the most blatant form of his harassment along with slander. My blatant form of harassment is murdering 25 of my rescue cats since I've moved to Kentucky. More in Manalapan, New Jersey, and having them stolen and placed on Adopt-A-Pet for resale, adopting out by a woman named Maria, who lives in Barnegat, New Jersey. But she didn't do it herself. She passed my cats off to one of her rescue friends to do it so she wouldn't get caught. My house is frequently vandalized, broken into, and personal information is stolen from me, including my clothing. I actually went to, and this of course is embarrassing, put on a pair of panties and they punctured holes all over my panties. I guess they have fetishes too. The gang stalking subculture is a network of civilian, criminal, and corrupt members of or former members of the security industry. You hear that, folks? Former civilian, criminal, and corrupt members or former members of the security industry. A security consultant named Brian Coffrin will attest to that statement. This unethical subculture provides an umbrella of protection where members can safely express their wicked impulses. The structure of the network resembles a pyramid, and only the people in charge at the top know why someone is targeted. That's interesting, right? Street-level trackers at the bottom believe what they're told and are warned to keep quiet for the sake of the investigation. The real reason for silence is because these are not officially sanctioned campaigns that can withstand public scrutiny. Secrecy is also necessary because the only purpose of the destructive cult-like group is to torment an individual who someone in power considers worthy of punishment. The phony investigation is a smokescreen that provides cover for an illicit program that circumvents due process and panders to the mob mentality. They are their own version of a hate group. Death by 1,000 cuts is their motto. And Trey Gowdy, you search for Trey Gowdy, due process, you'll find him discussing this on YouTube. Historically, a smothering form of organized persecution originated with the East German Stasi, post-World War II. This massive program was very effective in turning neighbor against neighbor and crushing those who dared resist the fascist government. Those in charge discovered they could divide and subjugate the populace in a way that was virtually impossible to confront and resist. J. Edgar Hoover implemented the program in the USA, and it has expanded tremendously under the Patriot Act. The only requirement to be put on a list is a corrupt official or a well-connected civilian. There can be any number of reasons. Perhaps the target crossed the wrong person. They know too much. Personal or political vengeance. Person's too outspoken, too influential. A whistleblower, a messy divorce, a bad breakup. Or make up an example. I say that it is a jealousy, envy, greed, in my case, revenge for hire, and the annihilation of competition. And that competition can be for a relationship of a man. I absolutely know somebody personally who has been targeted because of her once interest in a man. And yes, there are vicious, vicious women out there. Vicious. They're more vicious than the men. I'm sorry to say that. I'm a woman. But some of these women are way more vicious than any man I've ever met. And what they will do to another woman is beyond comprehension. What can you do? Oh, wait, I've got one more sentence here. It is also a terrible waste of resources that could be directed toward apprehending real criminals. The counterfeit patriots involved in vigilante stalking are divisive and spread their poison throughout the community. These smear merchants are in the business of destroying people's lives. And what can you do? Do not participate, please. Do not be deceived by these scurrilous liars. Do not cooperate with them. You actually cannot be forced to join. And it is dangerous to do so because they will turn on you for any number of reasons. Legitimate investigations are not witch hunts. Legitimate investigations are not conducted this way. I'm going to repeat that, folks. A legitimate investigation is not conducted this way. Do you know any investigation that lasts 10 plus years on a person other than an individual who is a missing person or an abducted child, somebody who's lost, who hasn't been found yet? I mean, if you know of anybody that has been under investigation for 10 years, secretly, please let me know. Leave comment down below. Please also let me know if you know of anybody who you feel is being stalked. The word that they use is gang stalked, but from what I understand, this word gang stalked was created by the intelligence community to discredit genuine targets. But if you know anybody who is being gang stalked or stalked by groups of people, mobbing in the workplace bullying, harassment, hate crimes, please post a remark down below and send me a link, if possible. My email address for this is alternativehomesteading@gmail.com. So legitimate investigations are not conducted this way. Character assassination only works when gullible, fearful, or devious people go along and spread the lies. You cannot trust these scoundrels on any level, and getting involved is bad karma that will taint your life with disfavor and darkness. The psychopaths responsible for these despicable campaigns flood the internet with fake, crazy-sounding articles and YouTube videos designed to give the impression that none of this is real and to discredit genuine victims. Unless you or someone you know has become a target, it is easy to dismiss any of this as real, but it is. Please visit his website called fightgangstalking.com. That's https:// all one word, fightgangstalking.com. And there are several articles there, like one on tactics for fighting back. And he also wrote something on WordPress called Gang Stalking is Murder. And it really is, folks. Perhaps at some point in the future, I will document some of the things that they have done to me physically. And I will demonstrate those physicalities with photos. Because I collect evidence. I know what my life was like before all of this. Envious and jealous and greedy people who are easily offended can never be your friend. Somebody who's jealous of you, male or female, or whatever gender you call yourself, cannot be your friend. It's one thing to admire the qualities and characteristics of an individual or their life, their family, their personal business, their businesses, but to want what they have and to try to steal it away from the person that has earned it is beyond cruel and sadistic. These are prosecutable crimes. But once again, folks, the title of this flyer article not only is organized persecution, but it's exposing the illegal stalking by corrupt law enforcement personnel. And I can assure you that behind every target, every individual on a watch list, there are multiple law enforcement individuals involved. That could be at the sheriff's department level, an attorney general's level, a judge, the local police department. Of course, they're not told everything either. They're also lied to so that they can go along to get along. But they're all taking bribes under the table at your expense. So I urge you to visit this website. I believe there's quite a lot of information there for you. I hope you're all having a good day. And know that this is just one of the many challenges that we face in this country. A lot of YouTube creators have been discussing the harvesting of DNA and the jab and the tests and everything. What they don't realize is that these tests, this DNA sampling, these horrific experiments have been done surreptitiously on targeted individuals. We're non-investigative subjects for a reason. They don't want anyone to know what they're doing to us. And that goes for pulse, microwave radiation, radio frequencies, the piggybacking on your electrical wiring in your own home, GPS on your phone, your car, your vehicle, hacking your personal emails and intercepting them. Can you hear that? So pretty, the water flowing. So folks, please do yourself a favor, keep this information secure, know that this really is happening. It's happening to millions of people. But the people that were placed in charge to protect us are treasonous. They have failed us. They sold their souls. This is their side hustle. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars on the side at with your tax dollars. Please stock up on some food and water. I have been purchasing food online a lot, and I've noticed that even with my pet food, a lot of items are becoming scarce and out of stock. They're not able to get them from the manufacturer anymore. I'm having to buy other brands. I mean, do what you can. There are many, many ways of storing food, of buying food that lasts a long time. There are so many YouTube channels and YouTube creators that have wonderful videos on this topic. One is Prepsteaders. I just watched her video on a chicken coop. She has a new chicken coop. Appalachia's Homestead with Patera. She has a beautiful farm, and she's been speaking out a lot lately also on other topics. Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. They've had their farm in Missouri for 13 years and living off the grid. And they've been discussing and coming out with the news, a lot of the news. What these creators don't realize is that people like me and the other targets have known this for years. Nobody would listen to us. They called us tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. Well, I hate to say it, folks, but everything we've been talking about is the truth. I'm glad people are waking up. It would have been nice to have some support on this through the communities, through the years, but you know what? There's no time like the present. And I am grateful to all the YouTube creators that are speaking out on YouTube, TikTok, where anything that you say will go viral in a very short period of time. But I thank you all for following me. And please know that this is really happening. It's happening to me, and it's happening to some of my friends. I hope you have a good idea. Please leave a comment down below if you know of anybody or would like additional information, or if you would like a copy of this flyer in a printable version, I can certainly email it to you along with others. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading, signing off for now.